green leaves with coconut or Mallum. Following are the ingredients you're going to need. 500 grams shredded green leaves, 1 medium onion fine chopped, 2 green chilies slit open or chopped, half a teaspoon turmeric powder, 10-12 curry leaves, half a teaspoon freshly crushed black pepper, 1 teaspoon dried fish or dried prawns, pounded into a powder, 2 tablespoons lemon juice, salt to taste, 3 tablespoons grated fresh coconut, 3 to 4 tablespoons coconut milk. Take the pan straight up to a really high heat, and that's where you start. So no oil, straight onions go in, believe it or not, and they are sizzling already without the oil. I love this dish. This is funky. Some chilies, entirely your choice how much you want. If it's really hot one, I would just go for 1, mild about 2. Some curry leaves, just handful would do. 10, 12. Bring it back here. Turmeric powder, about 1/4 of the teaspoon I've used, and pinch of salt, because there's more coming later if we need it. Now, at the moment you add turmeric, it starts getting stuck to the bottom. Drop the heat down as much as you can, and then add lemon juice. Ah, no seeds, I can't believe it. So there goes a bit of moisture, which helps. And now at this stage, I can add the greens. So kale can go in first. Sometimes kale leaves can be a bit temperamental, okay? So my suggestion to you would be, you can blanch them lightly. Cabbage. So what I'm going to do, because these leaves are slightly hardy compared to the other two, I'm going to cook these 2 leaves first a bit, and then add the leaves which will cook very fast, the softer ones. So I'm using slightly deeper pan. You could use a wok, a kadhai, a wok, that would be the best thing to do. Take the heat back again. We need more heat. And it starts steaming again. Just drop the temperature a little bit, not too much. And at this stage, I'll add about 2-3 tablespoons of coconut milk. Not too much, okay? Ah, beautiful. The fresh smell of all the spices in there is just amazing. And in the name of spices, it's only turmeric, believe it or not. And salt, and fresh spices, curry leaves and chili. So that goes into. If I had a bigger pot, I would have loved to use all the leaves I have, because a family of 4 would need about that much. So the recipe calls for about 500 grams of green leaves in its raw stage. But once it's cooked, I think it'll serve about 2 or 3 people only. So when you're cooking for 4 people, just double the quantity, I would say. Use about 1 kilo of greens. And as we all know, we should be eating our greens well. Go back, take the heat back again, and it'll get cooked very, very quickly. And it takes literally 30 seconds for these spinach and red chard to wilt. Okay, it's almost done. Few things to add, and that is dried fish. I could have added earlier as well, but I'm just using it as finishing. And some grated coconut, only the white part. I'll keep some to garnish it later as well. And obviously, very essential ingredient, pepper. Sri Lanka produces some of the best peppers in the world. And that's done. I'll just mix that quickly. Now, it's a lovely, lovely color and beautiful smell. Time to serve. Okay, before I put that into the bowl and go for tasting, shall I quickly tell you how I made this dish? So this is how I went on to cook my Mallum or stir-fried greens from Sri Lanka. I started with an empty pot, no oil, believe it or not. I added about 1 medium chopped onion, some green chili, about 10 to 12 curry leaves, and sauteed that lightly. And then I added about half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a pinch of salt, and sauteed that all together. And then I added all the leaves I had. So I had 2 hardy leaves, kale and cabbage. So I added that first, cooked that for about 2 minutes, and then added the rest of the leaves, which was spinach and red chard. Sauteed all that together. The whole cooking took about 7 minutes for me. And then I finished it with some grated or desiccated coconut, some pepper, and I also added the dried fish. Now there was option for adding dry fish in the beginning, or you could do it at the end. I chose at the end just in case there were some people who didn't want the dry fish. And that's it, it's all done. It's time to serve, and I'll garnish it with some desiccated coconut on top. Here we go.